Hey guys, there's an important question about midway through the video, so be sure and watch all the way to the end because I need your response. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I am so happy you found us. I'm Lisa, and this is Creativity and Inspiration. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's staying safe. I know there's been a lot of terrible storms coming through a lot of different states, and I just want to say I hope you are all very safe. And, you know, your families are very safe as well. It can be a stressful time with storms. Mother Nature's, something we don't have any control over, and it's really scary at times. Today we're going to talk about harvesting from greeting cards, magazines, junk mail, all of that, and kind of some guidelines that I use personally when I am harvesting images, text. I thought I would start with showing you some things I've already harvested and kind of talk about why I've kept them. And then we'll go through, I have some birthday cards. My birthday was last week. I have a couple of birthday cards that I can talk about what I'm going to keep off of those. And I will grab a magazine and kind of flip through that. Things I've already harvested. I call it harvest. You can call it cutting, whatever, saving, whatever you want. One thing I always do, regardless of what it looks like, is I save packaging. Packaging from crafting supplies. Packaging from anything really nowadays. Food can have beautiful packaging. It's just whatever. And here's a couple of examples of that. Here's a couple of examples of that. I've saved tea bags because I like the colors. I like the graphics. They would be just cute little pockets. I could make them little notepads, So I saved tea bags. I saved this cardboard packaging. I don't even remember what it was. It's got these down the middle, but I could still use it as a background. You can see the writing on it. I could peel these off and glue something over where they were. I like the writing across the top, so I could use some of the letters from across the top, or I could just save it because it would make a great sturdy tag. Now this is a ticket that I cut out of packaging. So sometimes I will cut out, if the packaging is stamped with a certain image, like this ticket, I will just cut out the image that I want to save and not the whole packaging. It just depends on size and what kind of space I have available. Now something else I've saved is a tag off of a shirt, because this would make a great tag for a journal. So I always save tags off my clothes, always. Or if I don't get a lot of new clothes, because I don't very often, I'll save it off of my husband's clothes. Now I like to save anything that, quote unquote, strikes my fancy. And some of these I got in a swap. Just because I got in a swap doesn't mean I'm going to keep it. But this image is like a chocolate. It's got the gold. And right now I am really into gold and sparkly. And so save that. Of course, it's getting to, it's almost summer. This came out of some trailer label book I had, magazine. And it's almost summer. So this goes great. So I'm thinking, seasonal right now. And then there's a little ladybug. And I probably actually saved these last year. I also like to save, again, packaging. This could be a tag. This is very colorful. It could be a backdrop for something. The writing, the little bitty writing, of course, could be a backdrop on a tag, layering it up with different things. So always save that. Now, I like to save, if I go anywhere where there's free stuff, like free pamphlets, free magazines, I'll grab one if there's a lot left. Now, if I'm grabbing something like this is to a mission that we went to when we lived in California, if there was not a lot of one place, like it's very popular and they're always going, I'll leave those and pick the less popular pamphlets. And I always do that. But, sometimes in grocery stores, I think still you can find free card trade magazines. And those are great for backgrounds. They're great for text, adding texture. But I picked this up, so I'll grab pamphlets or free magazines if the opportunity presents itself. This is from my HelloFresh, and it was inside my order, and the little flowers, the lemon, and the lettering. All the lettering, because it's good size. Now we'll talk about what I like in lettering in just a bit, the size-wise. And then this is the last thing, and you might go, my goodness, that's small. And it is small, and I probably won't use the letters individually, but as backdrop. Okay? My husband saw this, and he's like, why are you saving trash? It's not trash. Look, right there. And I kept it long like this so I could find it because it is small. And then I kept some bigger pages out of a planner I had at one point. It's got the map. It's got this little, grid. It's got all this great color, some symbols on it. It's got great lettering, great colors. It's got rulers on the side. It's just got a lot of great stuff. So I saved the whole pages. I can always cut these down when I get ready to use them. So that's just an example of some things I save. I'll get a magazine in a minute and we'll go through and I'll kind of actually do some live harvesting with you. I also, like I said, have some birthday cards. But first, before we get into that, let's talk about lettering. And I'm going to use this HelloFresh envelope as an example because it has several different sizes of lettering. And I'm going to use the love on this mosaic paper I created as an example to talk about lettering more. So a journal page most of the time, most of mine are 6 by 9. That's a fair statement. Most of my journal pages are a 6 by 9 size, which is this size right here. Now you can see the word love on this page and it looks really good. You can read it, but it's not overwhelming the page, so it's not too big. It's not so small that you have to bring the page up super close to be able to read the word, right? You can read it from here. I can read it, way down on the ground and I'm blind as a bat. So this is an excellent size, and this is the size that I pick for most of my lettering that goes in my journals. Now, this is a personal preference, okay? So, my favorite size may not be yours, and that's perfectly fine. We're all different. That's what makes us all so special. I did have the page upside down, though. Okay, but that's okay. This size, though, that I like for all my lettering, if I want to read it, keep that in mind. If I want to read it, is 3/4 of an inch. These are all 3/4 of an inch. And it's the perfect size for me on my 6 by 9 journal pages. And I would cut each one of these letters out individually because I'm not going to put special. I might put special. I'm not going to put deals, okay? But I like to turn and twist my letters and make them, circles or whatever. So I cut all my letters out individually. Now, these black letters are about the same size as my love. I like their size and they would work great. Not only would they work great because of their size for me, but they're going to pop because they're black on white, okay? Now, the white letters right above here in the HelloFresh are too small. You can't make those out. But you know what? I'm going to keep these, but I'm going to cut out the whole word and just use those as background to build up my page, to add texture, to add movement to a tag or to a journaling card or whatever. So I'm going to keep those on the back. Here again, the smaller ones are too small, but the still hungry ones are the perfect size. I will cut those out and use those as letters to make words like love. Okay, so 3/4 of an inch is my, now what's too small? Anything under 3/4 of an inch. And what's too big? Anything over 3/4 of an inch because it tends to swallow up the page. Then you may say, why keep all the small writing if you're not going to use it as letters or words? Because remember how we layer book pages? Just use these as book pages. Just use individual words that you cut off an envelope as like book pages. It's great. It's great. And it turns out beautiful. You can manipulate them a little more than you can on book pages. It's just a nice look, nice way to add texture. It's really, really great. Okay, so now I'm going to bring you in closer and we're going to harvest some things from some cards, from my birthday cards, and from a magazine I have. And I'll talk about why and kind of give you a feel for what I look for. And like I said, we're all different, but hopefully you'll get inspired and get some ideas for your own crafting. Hey guys, I wanted to pop in for a second. I'm editing this video and I wanted to ask about greeting cards as journals. You know, the greeting cards as the cover with, if there's any inserts, those being in the journal. With Mother's Day coming, this is a great idea. If you'd like to see a video on it, please leave a comment down below, greeting card, and I will get on that right away. Now back to regularly scheduled video. Okay, so this is some birthday cards I got, and of course I'm going to save the whole front. I'm going to save the letters inside because they're a great size. And the back has some great parts too if I can get the words out, like this drawing up here. These words would be great background. And this down here because of the color and the words together. Now this, the inside of this has the beautiful little flowers around, which I would definitely save. The writing, again, which I would definitely save. And then I would save the flowers on the front and probably the word daughter, maybe not. I mean, is there a lot you can do with it or not do with it? You have to decide. Definitely saving all of the beautiful flowers and the smaller words. What would I save or not save from this magazine? From this, I would get the little clouds because they're colorful. They're in little color blocks. I would get the clouds. Over here, I would get the red square because that would make a great background for something. Again, here I would get just this little design because I like the colors. I'm very drawn to color and movement and swooshes. Of course, any of these words, if I wanted to cut any of the words, I would do that. Especially like key contributors. I really like the size. The words are well spaced. It would be easy to cut those. They're at the top up here. So those would be easy to get out and cut. Here's a great example. These images right here. Those are amazing. This image right here. These paintings of dogs over here. More paintings with the beach scene. I would just cut her out and just use this one in this part. I like the orange and the letters, the images across the bottom. This is a very like artsy book, so you know, definitely these would be good to decorate an art journal. And that's kind of too, the images you find are going to kind of dictate what kind of journal they should go in. That. And like I said, any of this writing, the bigger writing, of course, is perfect. If I was doing a food journal, I would probably do food. I'd look for cups. I like that. Again, the text and the color could make a great background. If I was doing one about maybe the ocean or vacation, here's some surfboards, more surfboards from the Surfboard Museum. The green, it's an unusual green. It's very bright, very pretty, so I would take that. The people at the top, the little family right there. Any of these blocks. The Sunset Market. If I was doing a food journal, the Farmer's Market one. The 50 with the food. You know, it just, your journals are going to kind of dictate too what the little gecko at the t-shirt factory. You know, what you're doing or what your personal preference is definitely going to dictate more what you gravitate towards when you do this. And that is cool. But sometimes remember to go outside of your comfort zone and pick things that maybe you wouldn't normally pick. Because to challenge yourself to use them, I would pick all of this. Don't be afraid to go outside your comfort zone to pick new images. If you pick the same style of images over and over, yes, you're making beautiful journals, but are you really challenging yourself? And you could get burnt out. Just to challenge you, go harvest images in maybe 2 or 3 categories that you wouldn't normally gravitate towards, okay? I'll just leave a bunch, as many categories as I can think at below, maybe 10. And then you go harvest, say, 3 or 4 different ones that you normally wouldn't go to. And then challenge yourself to use them. It's a great way, too, to keep fresh and active, or keep them on hand, so if you do go through a slump, it's a great way to get out of a slump. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video about harvesting greeting cards, magazines, junk mail, anything you can think of. And accept the challenge. Look at the topics below and pick 3 or 4 to harvest images that you might not have harvested before. Get out of your comfort zone. It's fun, and you might find it leads to new creativity. I know we're not all the same, but I hope I provided you with a little inspiration today. I will see you on Wednesday, and take care. Have a great day. Don't forget, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button with that little bell. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will see you on, not Wednesday, Thursday. I will see you on Thursday. Bye, guys.